everyone. So I decided to make a yoga video that is focused on low back and hip discomforts. These movements are generally considered safe for pregnancy, although it always is good to talk with your doctor before you start any sort of exercise, whether you're pregnant or not. So hopefully if you're having some hip or low back difficulties, this will be able to help you out. The only thing you will need is a mat. If you don't have a mat, that's okay. You can use a towel for this practice. And also you may want to have a blanket. I'm sitting on one here just to give me a little bit of extra comfort in my seat. So we'll come to a comfortable seated position. If you want to sit on a blanket, that's fine. And we'll close our eyes for a moment. Place one hand on our chest and one hand on our abdomen. And we're going to focus on deepening our breath. So we'll take a breath in, expand the belly. It should be about a 4-second breath in. Then exhale, about 4 seconds out. Push all of the air out. So let's continue for a few more breaths, focusing on this lengthened inhale and exhale, using our diaphragm to expand the belly and push the air out. So start to waken our body a little bit, and we are going to just do some gentle neck stretches. So just tilt your head to the right side, your right ear going towards your right shoulder. You can roll your head down, stretching out the back of the neck, bringing your left ear to your left shoulder. You can continue slowly stretching out the neck in this manner. If you'd like to set an intention for class today, take a moment and set an intention for yourself. All right, we'll bring our head back up to neutral, and we're going to head to our hands and knees. If you would like, you can place a blanket under your knees so that you have a little bit of extra cushion, just to make things more comfortable for you. So we're going to start in tabletop position. You want to make sure that your hands are directly under your shoulders. They should be close to the width of your mat. If you have a towel, it could be even a little bit wider than that. You don't want them in too far. Or it can put too much strain on your shoulders. You also want to make sure your knees are directly under your hips. So for cat-cow, as we inhale, we'll drop the belly down, arch the tailbone up, and look towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, you come back through to your neutral spine and push up, hunching your back, stretching across the back shoulder blades. Now you want to flow in this manner in a way that's following your breath. So you may need to go a little bit faster or a little bit slower, depending on how your breath is guiding you. So we'll continue for about 3 more breaths. And then we'll meet in a neutral spine. The next thing we're going to do is wag the dog. So you're simply going to, we'll start with the right side, swing your hips out and turn to the right, and then turn your head to look at your hips. You might not actually see them. Then as you inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Exhale, look at your left hips. Inhale to a neutral spine. And again, we'll continue this at your own pace for about 3 more breaths. Okay, so we'll give the wrists a quick break. We'll sit back on our hips and just stretch the wrists out a little bit. Whatever movement you feel the wrists may need. Then we'll return to tabletop whenever you're ready. And I'm going to move a little closer to the front of the mat. So for this next sequence, we're going to start with the right leg. We're going to stretch the right leg straight back and place it on the ground. Then using your arms, push back to get a stretch in the right calf. So take a few moments if you want to rock back and forth, or if you just want to hold it, come down to your forearms. Whatever feels good for that calf. All right, so we'll come up, make sure that our shoulders are aligned with our hands. Now we're going to activate our core, so simply tightening our core muscles to give us some stability. Tighten that right glute and lift the leg up so that it is hip height. Now you can intensify this by taking the left hand. You can stretch it out in front of you, or you can stretch it out in front of you on the ground, or you can stretch out like you're shaking somebody's hand. Again, making sure you maintain that active muscle in your core, wherever you feel you're at today. All right, we'll bring the hand back down, bring the leg down, return to tabletop. If you need to give the hands another little break, or if you need to do a few more cat-cows, that's up to you. All right, we'll return to tabletop and repeat on the opposite side. So we'll stretch that left leg straight back. Get that nice deep stretch in that calf muscle. Then we'll make sure that our shoulders are in line over our wrists. Activate our core, activate the left glute, and lift the left leg so that it's hip height. Again, maintaining the active muscle in our core. If you wish to intensify, you can place your right hand out on the ground in front of you, or stretch it out like you're shaking somebody's hand. As you're ready, bring your hand back to the ground, bring the foot and knee back to the ground, and return to tabletop. And we're going to push back into a child's pose. So you'll bring your toes together. You can keep your legs closer together, or you can spread them apart. With pregnancy, you would have to spread them apart to make room for the baby. And then you want to draw your hips towards your heels and stretch your arms forward, getting a nice stretch across your back. If you would like some extra support, you can place a folded blanket under your chest. We'll hold this for a few more breaths. Then we'll move into the standing portion. So we're going to move to standing. So remove any props that you have from the mat. An easy way to get to standing, if this is accessible, is to just come to your knees and bring one foot up at a time. Or you can do another method that is more accessible for you. So you'll stand at the front of your mat. I am going to stand this way so that you can see me better. And we're going to stand in our Tadasana or mountain pose. So again, as we're standing here, think about your feet being rooted to the ground, your legs being strong like tree trunks. Activating the core, very gently drawing the pubic bone upwards. Shoulder blades drawing down the back. Okay, so our next move out of Tadasana is going to be into Warrior Two. I'm going to step to the front of the mat now. And we're going to start with stepping our right leg back. And the width of your leg is going to determine how intense the pose is. So if you're a beginner, you may want to have a shorter stance, or if you're experiencing some pain, it's better to start a little shorter, and then you can always intensify if needed. So you want to make sure that your heels are lined up, so your front heel should be in line with the back heel. Your hips should be in line with the long edge of your mat or towel. When you're at that point, you can slowly start to bend the left knee and then bring the arms to shoulder height. So focusing on the activation of both the back leg should be active and strong, and the front quad should also be active and strong. Roll the shoulders back, drawing the shoulder blades down. Gaze over the front hand. We'll hold this for about 2 to 3 breaths, but come out of the pose early if you feel you need it. Okay, to come out of the pose, we'll bring our hands by our sides, straighten the front leg, and then step forwards. We'll shake our legs out a little bit. That was a lot of work for our body. I'm going to switch sides so that you can see me well again. We're going to prepare to do this on the other side. So we'll step the left leg back. Again, paying attention to how far apart your feet are. Wider is more intense. You may notice slight differences on each side as well. Making sure our heels are lined up and our hips are in line with the long edge of the mat or towel. Beginning to bend the front knee, making sure that that front knee is not going past our toes. Strong back leg, active front quad muscle. We'll bring our arms up shoulder height, roll the shoulder blades back, and take the gaze over our front hand. We'll hold for about 3 breaths. Okay, and to come out of the pose, we'll put our hands by our side, straighten the front leg, and step to the front. We'll shake out again. Okay, one more standing pose. We're going to take our legs, just like a wide leg. They should be a little bit more than hip distance. You may have to adjust the width. So you want your toes pointed out slightly. We're going to do some squats. So with yoga squats, you want to make sure that you gently come down in a slow and controlled manner. And then we're going to add in some arm movements So our arms are going to be start at our sides. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, down. Do 2 more of these. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. And exhale, down. All right. The last pose that we're going to do is going to be on the floor. So we'll move to a seat. If you'd like a blanket to sit on for comfort, that's up to you. So we're going to take our legs out as wide or as comfortable for you. We're going to get some nice deep stretches in our legs. So first, let's fold in our right leg with our left leg stretched out and our foot active. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold over the leg, feeling a stretch in the hamstring. You can make some adjustments in your position to feel stretches in different places, depending on where you're feeling pain or discomfort. All right, inhale, arms overhead. You can hold these longer if you wish. And we're simply just going to switch legs and do the same on the other side. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold over the right leg. Again, making any adjustments depending on where you feel you need the stretch more. Inhale, bring our arms overhead. Again, holding this stretch longer if you feel your body needs it. Last one's just going to be both legs out, and we stretch forward to the middle. Should get a nice stretch on your inner hamstrings. You can hold these poses as long as you feel comfortable. 2 minutes will give a lot of benefit as well. We'll inhale, come back up to center. And to finish, we are going to be in Savasana, which is simply laying laying down as comfortably as you can get. If you are pregnant, you'll want to lay on your left side. So I will demonstrate. So this is an acceptable position for pregnancy. So lay here for a few moments, 10 minutes, as long as you feel that your body needs to rest, relax, recover, and reflect.